thinking that Brandon McCartney was an F&M a couple of months ago. Whether it'll translate to the polls, I really don't know. This is going to be a tight race. The F&M is not going to give a bit of a fight. The PLPs aren't going to give a bit of a fight. And Bahamians will say, oh, I'm going to support you, and then turn their head and say to someone else, I'm going to support you, and someone else is going to support you. So I think at the end of the day, Mr. McCartney might get a few seats, but whether it'll be widespread, I doubt it.
Clint, have you a quick say on that issue?
Look about Andrew Rollins, look at Cassie Stewart in the by-elections at Elizabeth. They were new, they were fresh. Everybody said, oh, great, young politicians, these young guys are so good. I like what they're saying. Oh, they're talking so well. Oh, they're good. Oh, he's a good young man. Yeah, people tired of PFP and F&M. When the results came in, it was so devastating that it caused Andrew Rollins to go and support the PLP, and of course Cassie Stewart to go and support the F&M, because they said it don't make no sense. They were so discouraged with the results because it wasn't what people were saying. People were saying, we support you with you.
Clay, what about the NDP that remains?
The NDP that remains, I guess they're good for what we call it music. They're good for B-block stories. They fill the additional news stories. Right now they're in so much turmoil and still trying to pull through it that I don't know if they even have a voice right now. But what I do think they have is they have an opportunity to make some noise and draw some attention to
issues that we need to pay attention to.
Yeah,
Tanika, I know you asked when I said Bahamas Constitution Party, and you were like, huh?
Exactly. I mean, we've been getting some press releases from them, but I really don't know who they are.
I can't tell you either. I just know that their whole thing is, in order to be a member or a candidate, you must be a Christian. But that's a good thing.
Ali McIntosh and a group of people. They've been around for some time. They're not new. They've been around since several elections in the past. And their mandate is, they want to instill more religious concepts into politics in the country and so forth. But like I always tell people, if that's your forerunner is going to be Christendom, then you need to bring some of the Christian leaders who have the integrity and the trust in the community, so people can say, oh, that's who you are.
That's what this is about.
That's what this is about.
We're going to go quickly over some stuff that I want to really get in. I listened to talk shows last week, especially after the PLP thing came out. People were just calling and giving their opinion about certain things. One point was, how is it that McCartney appointed himself leader with no election process? Is there an issue here, Tanika?
Well, I just was reading an article about Mr. McCartney. He said he was elected unanimously.
I saw that too.
So I think it's a perception because we know so little about the DNA. People are assuming that he was appointed.
But he was elected.
According to him, he was elected.
He was elected. Okay, now guys, let's move on. Let's talk about the process to select candidates in the country. The law says that the person has to be Bahamian, over 21, and not much more. I mean, of course, no criminal, but really not much more. Clint, should a candidate be married?
No, I don't think that's mandatory.
No, we don't say it's mandatory. What is it when you're looking for somebody to come and say, hello, I'm presenting myself?
No, I don't think that should be something, because again, you're dealing again with somebody's personal life, and we have to know how to separate personal life from the work in public life.
Okay, you can't run on so long, but check this out. What about in the United States, where that's a mandatory? That's a requirement. You can't come there as a single person and offer yourself up. So what do you think? Would jump in, both of you? What's the response?
To me, it doesn't make a difference. I see why they want you to be married, because you get that stability. You see someone maybe with a focus on family life.
But I mean, we've had single politicians who, in my opinion, have done a great job.
Yeah. Okay. Another caller said, should these people come with some sort of history of success attached to their names? I mean, I've run this business, I've managed this or that.
I think we need candidates who have had success in civic society, in the community, church, whether it be volunteer work, a business, some benchmark that you can say this person can run something other than their mouth.
Managerial skills are essential. Take, for example, look over the decades that we've had cabinet ministers. The majority of cabinet ministers are lawyers. Who do they manage?
A small office of a small...
So why do you put them in charge of hundreds and thousands of people in ministries? That's why you have a problem with the people skills, because they don't have management skills.
So, Clint, should the candidate offering themselves have some sort of idea, some sort of solution about how to decrease the national debt, how to address crime, the economy, education, that kind of thing?
Prove yourself. Prove yourself to me.
So when they come talking to you, this is what you're looking for?
Prove to me. If you're going to be my next... Tomorrow, you win. Are you qualified to lead the country into sound decision making?
Shenique.
I agree, and unfortunately, we don't have many candidates who can prove themselves or who have proven themselves. It's all the same rhetoric, and it's just hot air and promises, but it's nothing specific and concrete. And sadly, people vote for them at the same time.
Go back to the U.S. Look at the U.S. Before you become president, you've been in that party, and you've been working. I've been a senator or governor. You had a track record. Only the Bahamas you can come straight from oblivion into notoriety.
Now, one thing, should they be comfortable with the Bahamas? I mean, should they know, for example, where marijuana is? I mean, there's a candidate coming, but I've never been to marijuana. I mean, is this somebody who should know the country?
You shouldn't have to learn when the minute you decide I want to be an MP. You should have already been on the ground in whatever constituency you want to represent. You should be on that ground, knowing everybody in that area and what their problems are. It shouldn't be, oh, you show up and okay, what's wrong?
Clint, a couple of callers called into the various talk shows and talk about, well, I don't want my MP or MP to be sweethearting.
Well, everybody has good moral ethics and standards, but we can't legislate morality. It has to be a personal decision. You would hope that somebody who wants to represent themselves in office, if like a priest, somebody who wants to lead a church, you would hope they live a good moral life. Same thing for a politician. But at the end of the day, you can't legislate that it has to happen.
Well, guys, very, very interesting points. I hope we got out to most of them. There were some that I wanted to hit, but maybe we don't have the time. So when we come back to Nika, you're the newest person here, so I'll go with Clint first. So you tell me something I don't know. Okay? So stay close when we come back to the final moments of Press Wise.